Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. I'm very excited to have you join me on my channel, so don't forget to hit the bell, like, subscribe, all the fun things, so we can continue on this journey together. Today, we're going to explore the world of a well-known author who wrote under the pen name of George Orwell. He has written several books, including 1984 and Animal Farm. In today's episode, we are going to discuss Chapter 5 in a book club format. I am not reading the chapter to you. I expect you have read Chapter 5 before watching this video. The version I read, or I am reading, is published under the Signet Classics. The copyright was in 1949, and the copyright was renewed in 1977. The chapter starts out with lunchtime that we missed the other day when Winston went home for lunch. Right, so the book describes the lunch line and the metallic smelling steaming stew that is coming out and the small bar that is attached. A person behind Winston speaks to him, and Winston turns around to find Syme, or Syme, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, is S-Y-M-E, a friendlier comrade who works in the research department. And currently, so Winston is records, this guy is research. And he is currently Syme is helping to produce the 11th version of Newspeak Dictionary. Syme asks to borrow a razor. Winston says he didn't have any and said they no longer exist. So the book goes into how without warning the shops would no longer have necessary items such as razor blades or buttons or wool or shoelaces or other such things. They just all of a sudden don't have it, so it's not like you can know what to stock up on. Winston reflects that he is hoarding 2 unused blades, but there is no telling when the shops would get more in supply, or get in more supply of them. He lied and said he had been using the same blade for 6 weeks. The lunch queue moves forward, and Syme inquires whether or not Winston went to see the hanging of prisoners. Winston says indifferently that he was working and he would catch it on the flicks. Catch it. Syme says that's an inadequate substitute, and and Syme is evaluating Winston. So he's really intently staring at him like, that's an inadequate substitute. Now remember, anyone can turn you in for anything you don't do correctly. Winston sees Syme looking him over, and he imagines Syme is making evaluation like he knows Winston and why Winston did go. Syme was vehemently orthodox about all such things. Winston felt the trick was to get Syme to talk about the intricacies of Newspeak. Syme says he likes hangings where Big Brother hasn't tied the feet together so the person can kick. And he really likes it when the blue tongue sticks out. And to me, that's just gross. Anyway, they both get their meals: stew, bread, cheese, and coffee. They pick up gin, which is a purchase, and find a table. The meal doesn't seem appetizing at all to me, or to Winston. But after swallowing the gin, Winston finds that he is starving. They eat and don't talk for a bit. There's noise from a table near them. Finally, Winston asks about how the dictionary is coming along. Syme says slowly, but he lights up and starts talking about the dictionary. I think I read the comma wrong. Syme says slowly, but he lights up and starts talking about the dictionary. He is currently working on the adjectives. He further states that Winston thinks they make up new words, but that isn't true. They delete words and will get the language down to the bare bones. Syme says that after they finish it, it will be the definitive version and everyone will have to relearn language, but they won't need to revise it again until 2050. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. First, they are revising yesterday's history and history all the way back. They have updated dictionaries to accomplish this. So first, Winston will have to update all the articles he updated since he started working with the new vocabulary of the new Newspeak dictionary. Second, this dictionary will last from 1984 to 2050? Really? But wouldn't that put Syme out of a job? I don't know about this. Unlearning is much harder than learning. I'm a square dancer. I may have talked about this before. I'm a square dancer. I know. Y'all have images of square dancing that aren't accurate, I'm sure. Okay. Once a person learns a call wrong or incorrectly, that's how they dance it. And it can mess up a square. So they had to relearn how to do it correctly. Okay, sorry for this side trip. Back to the story. Syme gets excited and animated, telling about the destruction of words, of taking our verbs and adjectives and nouns. That probably should say taking out. Yeah, taking out. Verbs and adjectives and nouns. He gives an example of the word good and tells you don't need any synonyms or antonyms for good. You just need good. The antonym would be ungood. Excellent would be plus good. And so on and so forth. So this reminds me of Esperanto. Esperanto is a constructed auxiliary language. It is a simple, neutral, regular language. And it has a lot of this and not this in it. So I don't think it's so neutral because it'll be like hot and not hot. So it's like, to me, it's saying that hot is the positive and not hot is the negative. So I don't think of it as a neutral language, and you can be tall or not tall, and stuff like that in Esperanto. I learned just a little bit of it, and I was just like, I don't want to do this. Anyway, so you have this and not this, and that's what Syme is trying to do. Syme, of course, gives credit to Big Brother as it was their original idea. Syme then goes into that he has read some of Winston's article, and he accuses him of thinking in old speak. Syme goes on to tell the purpose of Newspeak. It is to cut out vagueness and thought crime altogether, because there simply won't be any vocabulary or words to express a thought crime. People will be raised with singular meanings to words and no range for anything else. Syme is ecstatic and then reminisces that the very conversation they're having at lunch this day won't even exist in the future. Winston starts to argue, but checks himself. Syme guesses he means the Poles will still know. I'm guessing the proles, I think it's proles. Proles are like computers, but at this point I'm not certain. Syme goes on to say the great works, such as Shakespeare, will be translated into Newspeak and read quite contradictory to how they read it now. And Newspeak will eliminate thought or the need for thinking. He thinks even the slogans will change, like freedom is slavery, because the concept of freedom will be abolished. Okay, scary. Continuing. Winston suddenly realizes that someday Syme would vanish because he saw too clearly what was happening, and Big Brother didn't like people like Syme. Winston finishes his food and turns in his chair to sit more relaxed and drink his coffee. Winston observes a table near them where a man from the fiction department is talking constantly to a woman. He supposes the woman is his secretary. As Winston listens, he doesn't really understand. He picks out one phrase: complete and final elimination of Goldstein. But he can't make out any other individual words. And the one phrase sounded like one typed word. Winston reflects that whatever the man was saying was pure orthodoxy, and that the man is just speaking. Winston feels that the man is so deep in the Newspeak and the orthodoxy of Big Brother that he is no longer a man anymore, but more duck-like. The man was speaking in unconsciousness. Syme commented on duck speak and told what it meant. Winston reflected that Syme would disappear, but just in turn, Syme would report him to the thought police very quickly. Winston further reflected on how unabashed Syme spoke and the Chestnut Tree Cafe that Syme frequented. Winston knew there was no law, written, spoken, or unspoken, of frequenting the cafe, but it had a reputation that Winston thinks about. Winston finally decides that orthodoxy is unconsciousness. Then Parsons comes in. Syme pulls out a list of words and pretends to study it. The book describes Parsons. Parsons sits down and tells Winston he owes his mandatory volunteer money. Winston asks about it and hands over the $2. Now, I'm thinking America has dollars. London has pounds. At least they did before the euro. So that's not true to the set. If the setting is in London, why are they doing dollars? Anyway, after Winston hands over the money, Parson tells about the plans for the charity. Then he mentions he heard his son nailed Winston with the catapult. Parson then tells how his 7-year-old daughter turned in a man because his shoes were different. Parsons is obviously proud of his children. Winston asks what happened to the man the daughter turned over, and Parsons didn't know, but with motion suggested he was shot. Syme argued with that, and Winston said what he knew he should say. Then the trumpet played on the telescreen, and announcements followed. The telescreen announced the increase in production and how the workers marched out in thanks to Big Brother and proclaimed their new happy life. This telescreen listed the higher production rates, and Winston reflected on how many cigarettes he had left in the half-filled tobacco pipe of Parsons. One increase the telescreen listed was the increase in chocolate rations, up to 20 grams per week. Winston knew that less than 24 hours ago he was informed of the decrease. But he looks around at the people, and they are praising the increase and chanting, "A new happy life." Winston thinks that none of them have any memory. The telescreen listed all the things they had more of, and of course, there was less crime, less disease, less insanity. Winston looks around and reflects. He tries to remember a better time, a time where his socks weren't filled with holes, and he wasn't hungry, and food had a good flavor. He couldn't remember, but felt the filthiness in one's clothes and skins was a sort of protest. Winston reflects further. He feels he knows who would be vaporized. Sign, Mrs. Parkins, O'Brien himself. Then he thinks that Parsons and the man duck-speaking would not be. Winston then realizes that the dark-haired girl from the office is looking at him. She had sat behind him during the 2-minute hate speech. Hate yesterday. Winston wonders why she is following him and watching him. He wonders if he did not shout loud enough yesterday, and he wonders what his face did while he was reflecting, and if his face showed any incredulous thought when he watched the telescreen during its announcements. It was dangerous not to have mastery over one's face in public or before a telescreen. You could be charged with a face crime. The man speaking that sounded like a duck quacking went back to quacking or speaking. The girl turned back. Parson asked for a razor. Winston made the same excuse he had before. Syme put away his list, and Parson tells about another episode of his children as spies and how good they are. He then tells of the ear trumpet Big Brother gave the children so they could listen in at keyholes at doors and be better spies. The telescreen lets out an ear-piercing sound, and all jump up and head back to work. And that is the end of chapter 5. Okay, first, I don't usually wear makeup, but I think I would find some base that would be like clay, so my face wouldn't show anything, to keep my eyebrows in place, to keep everything. Second, I wouldn't want to be around any children. I love children. I love to be around children, but in this environment, I wouldn't want to be around any children. Third, I would rather be vaporized than live like this. I would not want to live like this. I would just kill me. Because this isn't living. If I can't have my thoughts and stuff, it's not living to me. Anyway, leave a comment on what your favorite food is. And if you would give that up to eat what Winston had for lunch and eat that every day with no memory of something that tasted better. Leave a comment on if you would try to find legitimate excuses not to watch the hangings. Leave a comment on if you remember the cut in chocolate raisins, or you had to flip back and reread that part. I talked about that on Tuesday's episode, how I will flip back and be like, yeah, it was a decrease from 30 grams to 20 grams. What are they? And sometimes when you read those kind of mistakes in books, you think the author messed up. And sometimes the author did generally mess up. Like in The Hunger Games, the girl had her ponytail and it was burnt off. Right? And then just a few pages later, she has her full hair hanging down to her waist or whatever. I'm just like, no, you just burned it off. She can't have that. But in this, the government is telling you these things, so you have to know. So leave a comment on if you had to flip back and reread that part, or if you flip back and reread things in books. Leave a comment on if you would sit at the table with stew spilled on it, or if you would sit to a different table or clean up the stew first before sitting down, instead of just leaving the mess there. Also, leave a comment on how you would feel when money is limited, but you have mandatory volunteer donations to give. Now, I hope you enjoy the 5th chapter of 1984. Make sure to leave your comments. Feel free to disagree with my thoughts. Everybody has their own perspective. Some people may think this is a dream world. Nobody would be thinking nasty thoughts about you. Everybody would be just going to work and have easy jobs like Winston, and they would get lunch at the company and not have to worry about buying food or cooking. Somebody else can clean it up. They don't have to worry about it. Some people might think this is a dream environment. So if that's what you think, then put it in the comments. You do not have to agree with me. Just keep it respectful. Remember, reading is good for writers. It helps us see how other people create their worlds. So, read chapter 6. Join me Friday for Elementals. Join me Tuesday for Jargon and a Story with a Setting. Join me Wednesday for chapter 6 of 1984. Leave a comment on if you have an idea for a writing prompt or a term you would have me discuss or your favorite term so far. There's so many words and ideas. Or you can leave a comment on the next book club for us to read. My thoughts, Lords and the Fly by William Golding. It doesn't have to be that. Don't forget to visit my website, bymckella.com, read some character bios, send your writings and chapters to writewithmckella@gmail.com, no spaces, and leave comments on your favorite characters. If you hit the like and subscribe and the bell, then other people will have a higher chance of finding this video and this channel, since your likes push the video out to a greater audience, and we will continue to write together. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. This is McKella with Write with McKella. Bye for now.